Hopefully, anyways. Sometimes it doesn't work. You know, if you go to YouTube and type in 110, you get some really weird stuff. Oh, finally, I found it. What is some of that stuff, man? Okay, hopefully you guys can hear us okay. Moto Monday number 82, live with the one and only intern Joe. What's up, man?
Not much.
So, no guest today, but we do have some fun call-ins. And, I don't know, we could literally sit and talk for an hour about that Supercross race, man.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I was so excited for this weekend, Supercross. You don't like Super Bowl, but I watched it, and both were just the biggest letdowns I've ever seen in my life.
So I did not watch the Super Bowl. I have never watched the Super Bowl. I heard some guy took a shirt off, though, for halftime.
Oh, yeah.
And was there some, like, old quarterback? What's his name? Like, some famous quarterback guy?
What about him?
Tom someone?
Oh, yeah.
What's his name?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Did he kiss someone on the lips?
I saw something where he kissed his dad on the lips.
Oh, was that his daddy kiss? I saw all these photos of him kissing some guy. I'm like, well, I mean, that's progressive, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was his dad, though. That's okay. That's
Yeah.
well, I don't know if that's more weird or if that's more chill.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't really know.
I don't kiss my dad on the mouth.
I don't either. Is that okay?
To not do it? It's definitely okay not to do.
Okay, good. Because I don't think I really do that. I give my dad a hug sometimes, but
I'll give my dad a hug and a kiss on the cheek. That's about it.
Yeah, I guess a kiss on the cheek. Isn't that the normal family thing to do? Is to give him a kiss on the cheek?
Yep.
So, but I don't know. It's 2019. Do we need to be more progressive?
Mommy?
I feel like we might have to just start adjusting and be more progressive. Should we start kissing on the lips before every Moto Monday?
Oh, yeah, during, at the end.
Wait, I thought that's how you like start things. No, you're right. Never mind. And the football thing was at the end, right?
Yeah.
You kiss them at the end. So at the end of every Moto Monday, should we just kiss on the lips?
No.
Hey guys, in the comment section, let us know if you want us to kiss on the lips at the end of Moto Monday.
I was gonna say.
Not a make out, just like a one good peck.
No, thank you.
I agree, but I don't know, man. It's 2019. There's so many things apparently I'm not up to date on, and that's acceptable, that's cool, or that's just a norm, dude. Like things are they're progressing too fast. I'm starting to feel old. Other than I know who Tekashi 69 is, so one for me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's probably weirder things. There's probably weirder customs in other societies. I know over in Europe, dude, they do some weird stuff over there. I think kissing is totally normal. Okay, let's just not do that one, though. I'm down for just not kissing on the lips. So anyways, back to motocross. What's up, guys? Hopefully you guys found somewhere to ride over the past week. We're kind of getting to bad weather around here in the Northwest. I don't know how California's doing, but up here, it's snowing a little bit outside. It's getting a little iffy. Just a little iffy out there. So I do know Astoria Arena Cross ran. So that, go right there. You can stay out of the weather, but outside, not so much. So yeah, Supercross, man. Before we make our phone call, what's your thoughts on the whole lime situation? We need to come up with a name for this. Limegate?
Yeah, there you go.
Is it the Limegate?
Limergate.
Like, if you guys don't know, so Supercross ran, and it was a mutter. Like, hella mutter. I'm sure you guys all watched. I don't have to tell you this. You all watched it. I know you all watched it. Okay. Super muddy. They threw lime in the dirt to dry it out. Not the first time it's happened. It's a normal thing. However, maybe not so much on a night where it's going to be that muddy. So instead of the lime slightly firming up the dirt, like when they have kind of soggy dirt and, they were really trying to dry it out as quick as possible, this was a full-on mutter. So it really didn't do anything whatsoever except cover people's bikes, cover their bodies, and people got lime burns. And there were some privateers who their bikes were literally so roached, rumor has it, they're not even going to make the next round of Supercross. Pretty gnarly. So we're going to talk to someone who was actually there here in just a moment. We're going to call Jensen Hendler of JMC Motorsports. And I don't want to just totally talk his ear off about the lime situation, but I do want to see what it was like down there. That was a gnarly weekend of mud racing. Now, I thought the racing was entertaining. You didn't like it?
No.
Why?
I didn't like it.
Why?
Too slow.
It was pretty slow. Hey, old man Chad Reed getting a top 5 though.
Yeah.
Why is it that he's so good in the mud? Because I don't think they really have rainy, muddy races over in Australia, do they?
I wouldn't think so.
When I think of Australia, I think of 913 different animals that could kill you. Sunny beaches, beautiful women, lots of criminals. You know, because Australia was originally an island of criminals.
Yes.
And so they've bred and refined. Now they have better criminals, I think is how it happened. Like a bunch of criminals breeding with criminals. And so you see some of the most savage people. I mean, dude, they do some crazy stuff down there. Like their freestyles are just their freestyle dudes are out of this world. So you get a bunch of crazy people. So you got your crazy criminals, your hot women, all these animals that can kill you. Dude, okay, wombats are actually cute. I like wombats. But what is that weird one where it's like God took the leftover pieces and put it together? The platypus.
No.
Did you know they're poisonous too?
Nope.
Those damn little cute things that everyone loves, the duck bills, and they're poisonous. Everything there will kill you. How'd we get onto this? Oh yeah, Chad Reed. But you don't ever think of mud or rain. You think of a lot of desert, right?
Right.
So where did Chad Reed learn how to go so fast in the mud?
I don't know. He has been doing this a long time. He's been here for a long time.
Do you think it's just the experience
Probably.
of he's been in enough muddy Supercross races, he knows how to make his way through it and just limit his mistakes?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Because I was impressed for a guy I would not expect to be a mud rider. I don't know why I never think of this. Every time there's a mud race, I never really like, oh yeah, Chad Reed's going to get it. He's always a savage. It's like Kevin Windham.
Yes.
That guy can ride the mud. Anyways, we got to make a phone call. Enough about wombats and all that. So, we've got a couple call-ins tonight. We're going to talk to Jensen Hendler first. He was nice enough to let us give him a call. I just got to get his phone number here and talk to him about Supercross. Most of you in the Northwest know Jensen. He's been around a while. Not too shabby on a dirt bike either. And he knows how to build some pretty impressive motorcycles. We're going to be calling him right now. From the Tri-Cities area. Longtime JMC boy. Jensen Hendler. Hey, Jensen, is that you?
This is.
How's it going, man? It's Justin and intern Joe, and you're on Moto Monday.
Right on, man. How's it going?
Oh, it's going. You know, if you were closer, I would have conned you into getting on the show, like, in person by now.
Oh, yeah. No stress, man.
Because I think we could have a lot of fun on here.
Oh, yeah.
But, hey, at least we...
Get in trouble, probably, huh?
Nah, you don't get in trouble on here. No one watches this show. You'll be fine.
Nice.
You'll be fine. And we've had people take their shirts off. I mean, we've had all sorts of antics in here. We had crabs in here one time crawling around on the ground, like live crabs.
Wow.
Yeah, no. It's no one cares. It's a good time.
Right.
but appreciate you taking some time, man. I want to talk to you a little bit about Supercross.
Sure.
So for the people who don't know, what's your job title this year?
Well, so this year we kind of changed things up. Like in years past, kind of as like more of the technical director of the team, just as far as like anything that happened with the bike basically would just kind of go through me. And then on race day, I just kind of oversee everything, just to make sure that if, like, there's a yard sale or there's something that my attention that, like, I wasn't hung up somebody's bike, as a technician, I could really just jump in and help, something like that. But this year, with obviously we've got him for 3 years, and him being a rookie, we wanted to make 100% sure that, like, there was never an issue, and that everything happened, to allow him to succeed, at the best of his abilities without, some, rookie working on his bike and having an issue. So we decided early, I was just going to take that role and be his race mechanic Friday night, and then I still oversee everything that happens with the bike, and then still do all the engines, like, during the week and all that stuff too. So it's I don't know that I technically have a job title, but how it goes, it needs to be done. I just do it,
So who is all on the GMC Motorsports team for 2019? That's,
As far as riders?
like national level. Yes, riders. What riders do you got?
Okay, so obviously Carson Brown. We've got Chris Howell again.
Okay.
And then we had originally Chase Marquier was going to ride west again with us, but he had a kind of gnarly get off in early December that just really wasn't going to put him ready for West Coast. So
Gotcha.
he decided he was going to race East Coast. We had another guy that was going to race. I don't know if I can really tell. I mean, I'll let it out of the bag, whatever. But we were working with Michael Lee preseason pretty heavily.
Okay.
And he honestly, like, he was ready to throw in the towel. John, I mean, he's been around long enough that he was, and Ivy Corps really turned him off of the sport really, really bad. He had a pretty bad over there. So he, like, honestly was ready to be done. But I shipped him a bike. It was like, man, it was real early, like September. And he rode, and within about 10 minutes, like, dude, after riding the bike, I knew that I was not done, like, on this bike, and the bike was really good. So from there, we started working together on trying to get him, in a real place. Michael's the type of guy where if he doesn't feel 100% that he's done everything humanly possible to be ready to race, and knows that the bike is 100% ready to race, he won't go racing. He's
Gotcha.
gotta be there mentally. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So we worked on some stuff to try to get him ready. It was late till we even got 19s this year. We got 19s like in November, like mid-November. So it was gnarly trying to get race bikes ready, but we got him something that was pretty good. He actually bought a practice bike. His dad bought a bike. Like, they were trying to get ready, and isn't it weird? Like, I mean, his dad had a completely different guy, his bike, engine-wise, electronics, everything. And this thing would just, like, on the ground, it was awesome. But, like, on the stand or in the air, if you were to, like, wrap it real fast, it had this, like, very, very slight hesitation. I mean, just like for a millisecond, And it drove Michael where he didn't want to ride the bike. And then we got a bike together for him, and we couldn't make it go away. So what's weird is, like, we had 3 bikes all within, like, a couple numbers of VIN range,
Okay.
So we're not sure. And to be honest with you, I that's my project for this week, is to try to figure out what is going on with this bike. But, we had 2 different engine builders. His dad had someone do their engine. I did an engine for Michael. I mean, we could not get this thing not to do it. I mean, like, it's been weeks trying to figure this thing out. Finally, I just said, dude, just give me the bike, brand new bike next to it, and just start, changing parts. So I figured it out. But either way, he unfortunately couldn't be ready to race. He wanted to race, but we just, how mental this sport is already.
Oh yeah.
The last thing
Oh,
you
yeah.
need is to, roll it to the line, not thinking that it's 100%. You got to be, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't expect anyone to do that either. So.
Oh, I totally get it. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So moving forward with him, he's all in still. He's just like frustrated that he can't fix it. I mean, him and his dad, Don Lee, obviously owns Rocket Exhaust. He's very technical. He couldn't figure it out even. And Josh Pitts, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Josh Pitts at all.
Not personally.
Okay, so Josh Pitts, a little bit of pass on him. He's been in the moto industry forever. I'm sure you guys have heard of Racing Fuel.
Mm-hmm.
So when Renegade Racing Fuel was like really, all the factory teams were using it, it was all his stuff, right? And then when he left there, he took all that with him. That's probably why you don't hear of him anymore. But
I think I heard a little bit about this story. Okay,
yeah. So then now he owns that Ren Racing Fuel, which is what we use. We promote it through the dealership, all that, and a lot of teams use it. There's probably there's some teams that probably don't even know they use it, to be honest with you. Matter of fact, there's a Honda team I'm sure you've heard of that uses it, and half their staff probably doesn't even know it. But
really, okay,
yeah. So it's really, really good. But anyway, and he's all in like mapping and so on and so forth. His day job is he works for the Honda IndyCar team, like doing electronics.
Okay.
And then that's like his day job. And then on the side, he does a lot of stuff with that Revo Husky team and GPs.
Okay.
So he's got his hands in a lot of stuff, but he's really, really good. And he helps me with mapping stuff too. And he's super good on that side of that stuff. And so, yeah, he was trying to figure it out, thinking it was electronics. I mean, we were been scratching our head on that deal, but I think we got a little sidetracked here. But
that's all good. I mean, always fun to hear about this. You're all good,
to answer
man.
Your original, yeah, it originally was supposed to be Chase, Michael Lieb, Chris Howell, Carson Brown, and then we brought on Brandon Leith this year.
Okay.
And Brandon Leith actually started West Coast. He was doing good, and then at Phoenix, he just kind of OJ'd this. I think it was that big triple in the back right after it was a left-hander. And he landed, and gosh, it almost looked like he landed with the front brake on or something. The front end just like deflected and slapped him on the ground pretty hard. And he ended up breaking a couple ribs, and he's got like a small laceration on his kidney. So that sidetracked him a bit. He probably would have came back this weekend if we'd have let him, but we were like, hey, dude, just around. We've already missed a couple. Get healed up. Let's go into the East West shootout, guns a-blazing. So yeah, really it was almost 5 guys originally, but obviously we're down to 2 now.
Well, isn't that pro racing though, man? I mean,
right.
Motocross, like it bites everyone. So
yeah, you got to be ready for it because it's gonna happen.
Having a perfectly tuned bike and a perfectly tuned body at the same time is a hard thing to accomplish.
Right.
So yeah, okay. So I want to talk about Supercross this weekend because it was an interesting one, and the old rookie Carson Brown, my pit bike nemesis, went out and he had a good ride, man. He was making the Northwest boys proud out there. Did a little something happen on the last lap though? Because I saw him in 9th, and what did he end up, 14th?
Falling on the last lap. A lot of people didn't know. I mean, we didn't make it very public until really last weekend, but he broke his, is it your scaphoid in your wrist? He broke, scaphoid, I think. Anyway, he broke a bone in his wrist in November.
Oh,
and
really?
He didn't talk about it. And he for one, because we weren't 100% sure what was wrong. I mean, he had 5 x-rays. They couldn't figure it out. Finally had an MRI, and we found out just before Oakland that, in fact, he did have a broken bone there. So he's actually scheduled to get it fixed. He had it fixed this morning. So I got to touch base with him and find out exactly how long he's going to be down, but a wrist that doesn't have good blood flow, so it's like a slow healer. But as far as I know, they either pinned it or screwed it or something. And like Carson is hard to keep down. Matter of fact, joking, I told his dad, I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to handcuff him to a coffee table or something, feed him hamburgers or something, because you can't keep him off the bike.
No, he's a go-getter. I mean, that kid will ride any bike at any day, every day if possible, in any conditions.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know also he legitimately does try to burn 5 gallons of gas a day. And
man, that's like 3 months. No, actually, that's a solid 3 months for me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I've got a 2019 Works Edition in the garage. I don't even think it has an hour on it, you know?
Yeah, that's my life. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. But the poor kid, he if he can stay down a little bit, I think we can have him back for the East-West Shootout. I've got an opportunity to probably put him on a 450 for Daytona if he wants to do that. So it's really just going to determine how he's feeling with the wrist. Like, we want him to come back 100%, obviously. But if he's ready for Atlanta, we'll probably go do that. It's a little less than 4 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We'll see. Just going to be how he feels, you know. But
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So, okay, so talk to me a little bit about what has been the buzz on the internet ever since the race, other than the fact that it was, of course, muddy. But the lime, man, like the lime added to the dirt. I didn't really know, or nothing really got brought up. I never even thought anything about it until my Facebook feed starts blowing up like Sunday night of different privateers posting on social media. My bike is roached, and then I start seeing people. One guy looked like his nipple was burned off. I'm seeing like different lime burns. And talk to me here as someone who obviously gets to see the bikes after the race. Like, was it that bad?
Yeah, honestly, it really is. I mean, on the bike side of it, kind of experienced this a little bit last year at Seattle. They used the same stuff there, and like legitimately ruined pretty much anything that was anodized aluminum or any kind of coating on aluminum. Just got ruined. I mean, it looks like cheetah print anodized now. You know, I mean, the lime just destroys it. It's a bare metal almost. You know, we ruined a set of Kashima coated forks last year. I mean, triple clamps, hubs, rims, anything, man. Like, I've just destroyed $10,000 worth of stuff pretty easily, you know?
Now,
and
go ahead. I was just going to say, like, yeah, dude, I'm seeing all these pictures. One guy in particular, like Keith Harrison, is blowing up Facebook. He's like, my bike is literally worth nothing now. He's like, and he was showing all the pictures of his anodized parts ruined. His cases all just, I mean, looking nasty. On a day now, okay, so now lime, I get like if you got kind of soft dirt, okay, and you're hurrying trying to get ready for race day and you want to firm it up a little, I can see throwing some lime on to finish turning it kind of hard pack, okay, well, not harder, right? But on a day where it's gonna straight be a mudder, do you think that lime did jack? Like, did it do anything?
There's no way, dude. It was raining so hard. What was crazy is like sitting there in the pits, we're like, gosh, it's gonna miss us, dude. And I think track walk was like 3:45 or something. It didn't even start raining until 3:30. Like, we could have ran 2 sessions of practice by then pretty easily on a dry track. And then all of a sudden it started raining, you know, at 3:45, right about track walk. And I mean, it dumped so hard, legitimately a lake in the start straight. Like, there was so much water. I don't care what was in the dirt. When you add, you know, 700 million tons of water, it's going to turn to mud no matter what's in it. So I don't know what prolonged, but it was bad, dude. And like, you know, if you want to see something too, go on Van Martin's Instagram, on his Instagram story, and he's got pictures on there of his legs, his stomach. I mean, like everywhere, just rashes, like almost like actively blue, dude. Like, it's disgusting.
Lime is nasty stuff, man. Like, unless I'm wrong, I believe in the Vietnam War they were actually dumping that on soldiers from planes. Like, if you get straight lime on your skin, man, that is not good. They literally have used just straight lime in chemical warfare. Like, that's some nasty stuff. And I get it if you're trying to firm it up a little, because like, let's say you had kind of soft soil, like a lot of arena crosses, I don't know where they keep the dirt outside or wherever, you know, they're bringing it in, they're trying to firm it up. And, but if you firm it up a bit and it's kind of normal conditions, you're not going to get it all over your body, all over your bike. Right. Maybe a little, but in those conditions, every single rider was completely covered and doused in it. And I don't think it did any benefit. However, like you were saying, though, if it started raining that late, maybe they weren't really thinking it would. I don't know. I mean, do you think it was just kind of a bad hand that, you know, it was just how things went, or do you think it was just a really bad call to use the lime?
Well, it's hard to say. They've done this a couple times this year where we had a round where we knew it was going to be a mutter, like going into it week before.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do, like at Phoenix, they knew A2 was going to be a mutter. So literally half the staff left Saturday night after the race and went straight to Phoenix and started building the track. And they try to have it completely built by Monday and covered. They did in this instance. They did the same thing. They built the track, Sunday, Monday, and then covered it. So they really didn't know 100% on what was coming. So that being said, that happened on Sunday or Monday. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't. It's not like it was a last minute decision where it's like some chemical they just, oh my God, it's gonna rain, so let's throw this out there. Dirt, I think, like it's did, Sunday, Monday, I would believe. But I don't know the decision-making process. Unfortunately, I don't work with dirt. I work with dirt bikes, but I do know my bikes are junk now. I mean, legitimately junk. Like everything's going to have to get tore down to nothing and every part looked at, and can it be salvaged,
Yeah, unfortunately, I heard a couple privateers aren't even going to make the next round because they won't be able to get their bikes ready. They got so roached that like they don't have the time or resources to make it to the next round.
Well, for instance, what's today, Monday? Yeah, Sunday we went because we had vehicles down there, and we ran a shop from Hoodie at DT1 for like January, February, and so we had to go clean up yesterday. And every factory team, all staff on deck cleaning. I know, like I talked to Mohead a little bit, and he was saying that their semi left today to go to Minneapolis. So for their bikes to be on the semi for the East-West shoot, they got to leave today, So they had to work all day Sunday prepping bikes to get them on the semi today. You know what I mean? So like gnarly.
That's rough. Yeah, that's super unfortunate. I just keep seeing more and more people pop up on social media showing like burns on their arms, on their legs, different spots on their chest. Did any of your riders get like any burns?
Not that I know of. Of course, Carson went into surgery today, so they probably would have looked at that.
Yeah.
Doubt. So I don't really know. I need to talk to him, so I'm not really sure, but I haven't seen anything yet.
The thing,
Chris didn't ride the main either, so that might have saved him a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. One thing that I started thinking about this morning is after seeing a couple photos of that, there were some riders taking their goggles off, getting that in your eyes. I was like, I haven't heard anything, but like that could be bad for your eyesight, man. If it's harsh enough to leave you burns on your skin, imagine what it would do to your eyes.
Oh my gosh.
There was more than one rider who took their goggles off.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, goggles were flying like clothes at a strip club. Yeah, I mean, it was bad.
Yeah. The conditions look so gnarly. I'm just watching on TV. I mean, what was it like in person, man?
It was ruthless, man. There was no way of preparing for it. Like you do all the mud prep, your foam here and foam there, and try to keep it out of the shifter and the brake pedal. And then we're, running stuff in front of the radiators and, the hand guards. And it's insane, all the prep, but it didn't matter. At the end of the day, the bike was so covered in mud, you couldn't prepare for it. You know what I mean? And then, on the electronic side, we do some stuff on electronic side just to try to save the motorcycle. So like if he abuses the clutch really bad, it'll, obviously builds a lot of heat. And then the bike, you saw it at Seattle, you could melt stuff to the ground, So it's actually tuned where when it reaches a certain temperature, it pulls timing and starts overfueling to save the engine. So we do that sort of stuff, but we actually do that all the time, just not as aggressively. And legitimately tell them like, hey, if this thing gets slow and that orange light's flashing at you, just let go of the clutch lever. It'll come back, But we clutch every time we went on the clutch, come back. That thing was broken for sure. So
yeah, man, that looked just it was almost like who is better at survival and who's just better at playing it smart. It was, it was
save the
gnarly.
bike, save yourself, get a start. That was the whole thing. Like try to get a start and into it thinking like, hey, let's do like a concrete style start, because on a launch mode that great, same every time. It's actually really cool, the technology you can do with that sort of stuff. But I asked him, like, hey, dude, what I would do is like kind of a concrete start, so that when you do get out to the dirt, first of all, your whole shot device is never going to come off. And so if you set whole shot device real deep because you think you have all that traction because of the grate, which you all of a sudden don't have, you're going to hit the dirt, and the front end's going to be so low that you're going to offload the rear and just sit and spin, So I'm like, man, I'd try to do a concrete start and just see if you can't, get that rear end down, and just fight for any traction that's there. And last second he was like, no, let's just go with the other setup. Okay. So then with the launch control, you actually just literally try to bury the throttle. Like, we tell them, like, twist the throttle so hard, like try to break the throttle cable, so that when it comes out of launch mode, you're already wide open. So then the rider doesn't have to do anything different. To where if the bike does something funny, we change it in electronics to where he has to do the same thing every single time. Anyway, but he said, yeah, I literally last second decided, well, I'm just going to try to do like low RPM concrete style start. And like, it actually worked in heat. And but I think it worked because, I mean, he had a good jump, but if you watch in the first turn, he pulls the tear off and then just dips inside, and he's like third. He's like, oh my God, But so we try to do the same for the main, but it's insane. The track is so gnarly and anything can happen. And that's what ended up biting us in the main. The poor kid, like, he got together with McElrath, I think, on the first lap, and McElrath's bike was like in his spoke, so he could not go. Had to wait till McElrath would pick up his bike. So he started in last, worked his way up to ninth, and in pure Northwest fashion, and he ended up falling over on the last lap, and that poor wrist, like, if he falls or something jars it like from right then on, he can't hardly ride. He can't turn the throttle. He can't anything. But and how 5 guys got by him on the last lap, I don't know. But irregardless, man, it was a top 10. It was. I mean, I was sitting there in the mechanics area thinking, oh my gosh, this is it. This is what this kid has been working for, And nothing against 14th. That was an awesome finish for the conditions, I mean, I can't say too much about it, but we know he's, but not sidetrack too. Like, going into the season, we legitimately had to sit down and like have the conversation. Like, hey man, we've got 3 years. Like, there's no pressure to perform at all. Like, you won't get any from me. You won't get any from anyone else. We're here to learn, go out, have fun, be safe, be smart, don't go do the checkers or wreckers, Carson Brown, true fashion. Let's calm down. Let's go out. Let's learn, because, Carson really doesn't have a gnarly, amateur career that he had,
No, not at all.
He doesn't have, I mean, he told me that the first time he hit legit Supercross whoops was Red Bull Straight Rhythm.
That's crazy. Yeah. I've watched him, of course, coming from the pit bike world, Sure. I remember Carson when he was like, 3 foot tall, and, right. He never really got serious. Like, honestly, when he first got into 85s, he wasn't that fast. He was just like, right. Doing it for fun. He was a really good pit bike rider, but
right.
I literally remember the time and the day when I first started to see a change from him. And I was talking to Dwayne, and Dwayne was like, yeah, he's kind of starting to go a little faster. He's riding more. He's like, I don't really know if we want to do this though. I like just having fun, and he wants to do all this. And he went out and he got like 6th place in the super mini class at Grays Harbor. It's now Grays Harbor. And I just remember that conversation, remember that day. And I'm like, he's kind of picking it up. A year later, he's one of the fastest guys in the 85 classes in the Northwest. And he moves up, and he's just simply progressed. But like, he didn't have the same amateur background as Landon Courier or Josh Hill or Ryan Villapoto, who, okay, yes, Carson has hit amateur nationals and such, but he hasn't been going out trying to clinch titles since having a Cobra 50,
Exactly. And I think he's still having fun. And I think that's the biggest thing for him to continue on. Like, this kid wants to ride. I mean, he He wants to ride pit bikes so bad. He wasn't in California a couple weeks where he was Craigslist finding an XR100. They had some parts down there, yarding that thing apart, and they've got a turn track in Chris Howell's backyard, like in the middle of Temecula or whatever, Menifee. Like, it's insane. Like, the kid just has to ride every day.
He enjoys it. But do you not think that would pay off, though? You know how many people take it too serious? And this kid legit likes to ride. He loves to ride a dirt bike.
Yeah, and I have to remind him that. Like, there's a lot of times on the line where it's like, hey, dude, let's go have fun. You know what I mean? Like, go have fun. I don't care where he finishes. You know, like, we know legitimately he's a top 10 kid easily. And I think we're just trying to get him, you know, there's a lot of stuff. I don't care who you think you are or where you've been and what you've seen. When you walk down the tunnel at A1 for the first time, track walk, your childhood hero standing next to you, talking about with his trainer how he's going to hit a section, that's huge. Mm-hmm. And you know, we knew that he just, hey, let's just go have fun. Let's learn as much as we can first year, and let's come out swinging next year. But, we, as a team, Joel and Michelle, Mishka, I'm sure you guys all know who they are with JMC. Yeah. Me and Joel, we sit down with kind of everything that we do. And, we talked a lot about what we were going to give Carson as far as like, hey, do we give this kid everything we have as far as like engine technology, give him the biggest thing we possibly can build? And at first it was like, hey, let's give him like what we would call like our B spec engine, and let's run the first few. He's got it all kind of sorted. We'll give him everything we can, Yeah. And then came down to it, we were like, let's just give him the best we got, And it's crazy, even this year, in years past, we've kind of outsourced some head work so that we could build the same thing every time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you could build 20 engines and they're all identical. And the only way to do that is, CNC machines and all the rest of it. And so we outsourced some cylinder head stuff in the last year or two just for that reason. Here we kind of came in working with Pitts has got some contacts in Europe just through the Revo stuff and all his time at Steve Dixon and Cosworth stuff and so on and so forth. And we've got some stuff that kind of came about through him. Let's just say Carson's got the gnarliest thing I've ever seen, for sure. I mean, it's got cowbell like you wouldn't believe. This thing's got such massive torque numbers that when like he goes and rides, this kid normally is in the box the whole matter of fact, he told me on the Hondas he would legitimately hold the bike wide open like in the rhythms and just feed the clutch like to feed the power because it just didn't have any, and he come around on his race bike and just hit stuff in the middle of the power. It's like he's trying to ride it like a 450 because that's where it makes such good power, So that part's cool, and the bike is just retarded fast for sure.
Man, that's gnarly. And he put in a good representation of Northwest riders out in some of the nastiest conditions I have seen in Supercross for a while now.
Yeah.
Man, well, it was good to get your input on that. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to run. We still got one more call in before we wrap up the show, so I'm going to have to let you go. Before we do that, though, you got any final words of wisdom or any sponsor plugs you want to throw out for anyone, or maybe how we can find you or JMC on social media?
Sure, yeah. JMC's got a motorsports racing team. We're really trying to, or not team, sorry, but an Instagram account that they're really trying to grow. I think it's like JMC_motorsports_racing, I believe. It's pretty easy to find. Just type JMC, whatever. And then, we'll throw one thing out, like, and you'll probably see it, or maybe I've already seen it, but Motocross Action Magazine tested our straight rhythm race bike, which was really cool. Made the cover for March issue, so that was kind of cool. I've never, obviously as a kid growing up, that's the only magazine I ever bought or read, and being tech savvy and whatever, but to have my bike on the cover of Motocross Action Magazine is probably the coolest thing that's ever happened to me, So that's kind of cool. Yeah. You'll see that. And then, man, just everyone that helps the team. There's so many sponsors. It's insane. Husky helps us a bit, and HCS pipes and Ren fuel, obviously, and it's just Dynamic Designs graphics have been helping us out this year. That's been kind of interesting for sure and good. Let's see. I mean, there's just so many. Guts Racing, Renthal, Dunlop. I could go on for hours. There's people.
Oh, I know. We had Chris on last week, and he actually is like, hang on a second. And he gave us a laundry list of everyone. Hell yeah. He had it ready though. I was impressed.
Yeah, I know. Really good about that. That's one thing. Chris is super good about that. He thanks everybody, and he's a great kid for sure. He's turning it up and turning it around. So that's really good. He had a rough year last year, and he's making mains and he's trying to turn it around. And I hope the best for him for sure. He's a good kid. I really like him. I don't mean to keep you guys too long. I'll ramble all night. What we do. I'm like you. It's like we start talking moto and can't turn off the.
Oh, I know. We could go on forever. And that's why I was like, hey, if you're ever in this area, man, hit me up. I'd love to have you on actually in person, and we could actually do this like well into the night. So it'd be a lot of fun. Right. So if you're ever in this area, man, even maybe like Top Gun time, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Hit me up.
I'll be around.
Okay. Sounds
maybe
good.
Or something. I don't know.
Yeah, just you know how to get a hold of me, man. So just let me know.
For sure.
So,
cool.
I appreciate you letting us talk to you, man. And yeah, guys, go check out JMC Motorsports. They got some rad stuff going, Northwest team. And Jensen, you have a good night, sir. And I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Take care, guys.
All right. You too.
All right.
Catch you later, man.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye.
All right, we could talk dirt bikes for hours. I feel like I have to race Jensen at Top Gun. I don't think I raced him this year, but we raced the same class. So the guy can definitely turn a wrench. He's built some fast bikes. It's pretty rad. His bike did make the cover of a magazine. Mm-hmm. Carson Brown, I feel like he really popped in the spotlight when he won Straight Rhythm. Like, we know who Carson Brown is. And, he's been a pretty good local pro. And, of course, he's ridiculous on a pit bike. But he really popped into, I think, the general media motocross industry limelight. Limelight. By winning Straight Rhythm. Because, dude, that kid knows how to ride a 125. And he proved it. He beat some of the best at Straight Rhythm. And since then, he's just been progressing, and he just had his best ever Supercross finish with a 14th, even though he was running in 9th until the final lap. But anyways, so that was cool to talk to Jensen. I'm glad we were able to get him on. The Lime, dude. The Lime messed some people up. How many thousands of dollars of damage do you think that Lime did?
Easily 100, maybe 150,000. Well, he's saying 10,000 for them, but
yeah, that's rough, man.
Yep.
All right, so we got one more call in before we wrap this baby up. Don't forget, we will have our after show over on Facebook after this. But before then, sorry guys, my phone's blowing up at people asking questions about Moto Monday, and I have to make a phone call. We're going to talk to Jason McCormick of JMR Suspension. Anyone who does not know who Jason McCormick is, go to YouTube, type in that name, and watch him. You will definitely find it on the first page. Watch Jason McCormick at Washougal Motocross straight up beat Ricky Carmichael by so much time in a 125 National that Ricky was pumping his fist after he went over the finish line because he thought he won because he never even saw Jason. He didn't even know he was in front of him. Carmichael got second, but he was so far back he never even saw Jason, and he thought he won the race. That was iconic for me as a young. I wasn't like a kid, but I was pretty darn young, and I always loved watching Jason race because I don't know, he's from the same hometown as me, and that just made it kind of cool. And I met him once, and he seemed like a really nice guy. Both him and Huffman, Ryan Huffman and Jason McCormick. Growing up, I loved watching them race, like local boys I can meet. They're from this area, and they're out there, and they were slaying it, dude. They were doing good, and I just remember that was an iconic moment for me because just not only did he beat Carmichael, he beat him by so much that Carmichael thought he won.
Yep.
I just remember that fist bump. Yeah, and the announcer like, I don't think Ricky knows he got second.
My favorite was, I forgot what year it was, but he was maybe 16, 17 on a CR 500 at Washougal National, running with the big boys. I think he was top 5 for a while.
I do not know how he was able to go so fast on a CR 500 because when he was racing, dude, he was tiny.
Yep.
And as someone who has ridden a CR 500, I don't get it. Those things are a handful. And they vibrate so much. It takes your entire core strength, arm strength, leg strength just to hold on to that sucker and try to stop it from vibrating out of your hands and going off to the left or right or wherever. It's a lot to handle a CR 500.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of my least favorite bikes in the entire world to ride. Like, I would rather... No, actually, no. CR 480. That's first. CR 500. And if I could ever find my 2001 or 2 Husaberg FC 470 Fletch Trick built motor, if I could ever find that, I would literally pay cash for it so that I could take it down to the starting line of, I don't know, somewhere cool, Washougal or something like that. Drop it on its side, sprinkle gas on it, and burn it. It was fast. I mean, it was stupid fast. I mean, it was a full national caliber race engine. And it was a 470, not a 450. It was a freaking 470. Who knows what Fletch did to that? You knew Fletch very, very well. Mm-hmm. He was like a mad scientist. And he made that sucker go fast. And the problem was, though, it didn't like to start. And it really enjoyed dying. It really enjoyed just randomly dying, and it did not have an auto decomp on it, and it had a left side kick. So basically, you had to play with the decomp, rub your stomach, pat your head, do 1 3/4 dances,
hop on one foot,
sprinkle lavender oil on yourself, and then hurry up and snap that Kickstarter down with your left foot, and then it would start. And it rattled so much. The steering stem nut, we had to order 3 packs of them because it would rattle off. We Loctited. Have you ever Loctited a steering stem nut on? We Loctited it on. After a few weeks, it rattled off. That's on my top 3 list. We're getting sidetracked. Hate that bike. It was so fast. I could rip hole shots like none other. But the suspension was always getting tuned and would never work right. That was back when it was White Power, I believe, before it was WP. Mm-hmm. Before, like, someone told me, hey, you can't really say White Power in the US anymore. It's now WP. For anyone who doesn't know, WP means White Power. And that old school WP White Power stuff was garbage. I just could never get it to work right. And I don't know. It would just rattle. It wouldn't start. I literally remember I was in the middle of a race and I'm trying to kickstart it, and Fletch walked out to the middle of the track. Give me that damn bike. And he started it. He did this weird little routine thing, and he told me, I'm never going to remember that. So if anyone has my old Husqvarna, I'm sorry, Husaberg. It's one of the same. I mean, the Husaberg came from Husqvarna. But if anyone has that bike, I will buy it from you just so I can burn it. Anyways, we're going to sidetrack. We got to wrap this up soon. Jason McCormick, ladies and gentlemen, from JMR Suspension. See, you start talking Husabergs, we start losing people watching. Like, we don't want to hear about Husabergs.
Justin Warden.
Jason McCormick, you are on Moto Monday.
Oh boy, good thing I wasn't getting in the shower yet.
Whoa, what? You know what? We've never had someone on here talk while in the shower. That could have been a first, man.
Well, the funny thing is, I got to tell when I was getting ready to get in the shower.
Oh, shit.
Did you forget we were going to call you?
Yes, I did.
I literally just saw you a few hours ago.
I know you did, dude. I just got wrapped up in doing stuff with Carrie, and then it was basketball practice.
People want to know if you're going to have shower beers while you talk to us.
Shower what?
Shower beers.
Shower beers? Nah, not tonight.
Not tonight. Okay. Well, sorry. We went a little long. We were talking with Jensen about just how that Supercross race went down and all the lime in the dirt, dude. And he was like, it was just as bad as everyone's been saying. Like, it just wrecked everything. He said, He said last year there was a race. It took the coating off the forks.
I wouldn't doubt it. That stuff eats through everything.
What do they call that? The Kashima? Is that the right way to say it? The coating?
Well, for the for like the upper tube stuff, all the gold.
Yeah, he said stripped it all off the forks.
Oh yeah, and the coat, like even the nitrate stuff that some of this Pro Circuit stuff has and whatnot. That stuff it'll eat at that stuff.
Dude, that's gnarly.
Yeah,
that is gnarly. Yeah, there's literally riders not lining up for the next round of Supercross because they cannot get their bikes done or they can't get them ready in time.
Well, dude, have you seen pictures of Ponatelli?
Oh yeah,
dude, his skin is so bad, dude. It's like eating at his skin.
That's not. Yeah, Politelli. Well, Joe, you talked to him, right?
Jamie talked to his girlfriend.
Oh, well, close enough. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Your fiance talked to Politelli's girlfriend. Close enough, right? Yeah. Okay. So, is he going to be able to make the next round?
No.
Nope. Because of that race.
Yep.
Dude, that's
it's bad, dude. It's so bad. If they don't get under control, it will eat at the skin.
Yeah.
Unless you get antibiotics on it now or something or some burn cream, dude.
Yeah, he went to the doctor today.
Dude, that's
they give him some burn cream even?
I don't know. I got the.
You know what worries me is a lot of these guys are going to take their. You know what worries me is they're going to take their goggles off.
Yes.
What do you think it's doing to their eyeballs?
Well, we were talking about that with Jensen, and I was like, "Hey, dude, I saw a lot of people taking their goggles off." He's like, "Oh yeah, they were flying off everywhere. There's a ton of people without their goggles riding in that stuff."
Yeah, I mean, think of what it's going to do, though. I mean, it's going to get. I mean, they're going into their eyes. It's going to get into their bloodstream. I mean, think about it.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it can burn through your skin, think what it would do to your retina.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Oh yeah. I mean, they use that. They've been using that stuff even when I was doing Supercross. But that was when they would pull the dirt in from outside, the week before, and mix lime in with it to dry it out. And it's a covered stadium. Like for instance, I'm going to go back when the Kingdom was still around. And they would put lime in with the dirt. I mean, it'd still get ruddy, and you'd still see the white chalkiness every once in a while on the faces of the triples or rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, that's even to dry it out, even when it's even inside something. Imagine, I mean, they should never put lime if it's just going to constantly rain like it did. That was just stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Just leave it. Let it be what it is.
Do you think it did anything for the dirt at all?
No, absolutely no. It was too wet. Look at all the big pond puddles. I mean, it's not going to do anything to that.
No, that was rough, and it's rough to see all the pictures afterwards of all the riders, especially the privateers. Like, they don't have the money to go replace all those parts on their bike.
No, it sucks. It sucks for him. I saw Devin tonight. He's home now, and because we're actually going to test a different RMG shock, get rid of that pile that comes on those things, and we're going to test a different shock from like a 2012.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so he came and picked it up. He's going to go ride with it, just kind of play around with it and make sure we got some clearances and whatnot from the frame.
Devin Harriman, for those who don't know. So
and we were talking, and I'm worried about his suspension because I'm gonna told him I need it ASAP and do whatever you can to clean it, but it's probably already too late. Like, I think the tubes are gonna be shot, lugs will be shot, you name it. Unless you did a real good wash job, it literally as soon as you got it off the track.
Oh man, that is rough, man.
Yeah, but I still don't think I think they're toast.
That sucks. Well, hey, let's talk.
He has a backup set. He does have a backup set. Thank God for that.
Well, hey, that's something. I don't know if all these riders do, though. Man, that's what would concern me. Like, this really messed up some privateers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it did. So, I don't know.
Oh. Well, hey, let's talk suspension for a minute, man, because part of the reason why I called you to get on the show, which I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us and not take a shower. But, I'm actually bringing this up because there was someone in my shop recently who was talking about, suspension and going to different tracks and stuff, and he had no idea that you had to have different settings for different tracks. Now, could you make, now for those who don't know, Jason McCormick, I was just pumping you up before we called you, by the way, for that time that you beat Ricky Carmichael by so much that he didn't even know you were there. So I forgot to bring up the fact that you own a suspension company, JMR Suspension, but most people probably from the Northwest know who you are and know where you are and what you do. But for those who don't, you own JMR Suspension. You've been wrenching on shocks and forks for some time now. Could you kind of talk to us a little bit here about, okay, so we're in the winter. Is there differences in how you set up your bike, your clickers, any of that between winter racing and summer, or, you know, outdoor and indoor, just for the Joe Blow weekend warrior dude?
Well, okay, so for when racing outdoor, whether it's winter, spring, summer, setups are going to vary just depending on how the track forms. Soil, I mean, you get really rough sand versus square edge, hard packed, or you kind of get both in between at some tracks. I mean, sometimes guys, if they find a setup or adjustment where they like it, a lot of guys just won't mess with it.
Okay.
For outdoor reasons. I mean, some guys kind of know which way they may want to go. They may do a few clicks here and there, in, out, softer, firmer, whatever, you know, and some guys will do that. That kind of are a little bit more in tuned on what they want. But from arena cross to supercross is a completely different setup.
So let's say we have, you know, your weekend warrior. Let's give him a name. Joe, what do we give him a name as? Give me a name.
Rusty.
Rusty. Give him a last name.
Nuts.
Okay, so we have
Rusty Nuts.
Jeez, Joe. So we have Rusty Nuts.
I got the WD-40 for that.
Yeah.
So we have a rider named Rusty Nuts. Okay, so he is a local 30+ C rider.
Yeah.
And you know, he was racing the Washougal series. He took a couple months off, and he wants to go race the WHR Indoor Arena Cross Series. Should he mess with his suspension at all? Should he just run it and see how he likes it? Or should he maybe play with some clickers? What's your suggestion? He did some summer outdoor riding, hasn't ridden in a bit. Now he wants to go do an Arena Cross Series. You're 30+ C guy, which is a large amount of the local scene would fit into that demographic, you know?
Okay, so a guy that's just a weekend warrior is probably just going to want to go and race. To be honest, I mean, he may not even be caring on what he's got. He's just excited to go race indoor and go outside and ride. You know, so, I mean, you're going to run across that a lot.
Let's say we have Rusty Nuts' kid, who's 17 on the 250B class.
Yeah, so let's say Rusty Nuts, you know, came back to ride. And he kind of knows how to ride. He took some, you know, a few years off. So Rusty Nuts wants to ride some indoor. And he's going to probably know that, you know, outdoor settings, you go to ride arena cross may not work that well because it'll be too soft in arena cross.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Salem, for instance, when they had it, because Salem's, you know, a little
there you
jumpy.
Go, Salem, yeah.
You know, there's, you know, some nights were easy, some nights were, you know, maybe a little bit more aggressive than some nights. And so you want to adjust a little on the firmer side to make up that so you just don't clank all the time. So you're going to want to take your outdoor setup and kind of turn it in and stiffen it up so you can kind of make up that difference
now
on the softness of it.
So for just a...
let me put this, for example, for you. So PIR.
Okay.
You know, a lot of guys race PIR and they, you know, and they have outdoor setup or whatnot, and they want, you know, they're doing Washougal or they're doing Mountain View or they're doing Albany series. But then they go and do the whole Thursday night motocross. Every Thursday night, dude, and you literally are gonna need almost a second set of suspension for PIR. Literally, because because PIR, you got that back rhythm, it G's out.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless you have a real aggressive setup on it for outdoor, like I've done for Tommy and for some of the fast guys, we can make up a little bit of that difference probably and just firm that up. But for a lot of guys that, you know, want it kind of plush and softer for outdoor, you almost need, for some guys or a lot of guys, just separate suspension almost. Because they, you know, the number one thing I always get is just too soft. I said, yeah, because we're at PIR because there's too many G outs. I mean, you're G'ing out when you hit the finish line.
So, okay, so for Joe, let's say we go to Rusty Nuts here. Okay, he got his suspension originally set up from you. Okay, he got it set up for his weight and his riding skill. And if he goes and shows up at PIR, he normally rides, let's say, Woodland and Washougal there, not super jumpy places. He goes to PIR or he wants to race the Albany Arena Cross. Is there anything he can just do for himself at least to get a little better for the day? I mean, does he just go up a few clicks and rebound and compression and see how it works?
I mean, We can I would suggest tightening it up and kind of write down a note on, normally I'll give all my guys setup sheets.
Yeah.
And so they can keep an eye on like where the adjustments are going. And so for PIR, we're always turning it in. Okay. And then that way you can keep track of how far you're going in on the adjustments, whether it's the low speed of the shock or high speed of the shock or whatever the case may be. Then when you go back outside or to a normal outdoor track, then we already know which way we got to go back to it. So every time they go PIR, they can adjust it back to what it was for just PIR. So and PIR, I mean, there's times where we're adjusting by 5-6 clicks just to make up the difference for the G outs. Oh, and that's just barely enough so it doesn't clink.
So, okay. So first off, before I say this, always take notes of what you're doing to the clickers, right?
Always take notes.
Never just start twisting away and see how it goes. Like, keep notes of where you started, your baseline, keep notes of what you did, before your first moto or whatever. Like, always keep notes of where your clickers are.
Yep. You always write down where you started. Always. And I'll give all the guys I do stuff for or ask me to do stuff for them, they'll have a sheet and they'll know where their adjustments are. Okay. And then on top of that, as long as they keep good records on knowing how many clicks they went in or out, they'll always go back to what they liked for the outdoor side. It could be Washougal, it could be Albany, wherever it is. That was good except for PIR.
Gotcha.
So that's why if you keep good records, you always know where you're at. I mean, I get it all the time where a buddy of mine was just adjusting. I don't know where he went. He just started doing something. I don't know what it is. Well, okay. Go back to where we started, where the setup originally started from when it was new. Then you can it was 1 or 2 from that point. Easy enough.
Gotcha. Okay.
Unless you're going to have somebody coming to the track, a buddy that's going to go ride with you and then your buddy's just saying, you ask, hey, I kind of want to do this or do that. And then the dude knows how to adjust on it. Well, as long as that dude knows, hey, write down I went 2 clicks in or I went 2 clicks out or I went 4 in or whatever the case is. So that way you can always go back.
Yeah.
Taking the notes is the best thing ever. Keeping track of everything.
No, don't just start twisting knobs and playing with stuff. You can lose
track of where it's at. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. As long as you keep notes on how far you're going in either direction, as long as you know where it's at, you should never second guess what it, oh, God, well, I think I'm here. I'm not sure, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay.
I mean, it's on anything. I have a race prep sheet that it's a checklist. So when I was at Moto Concepts, I had a checklist done for Lamson to make multiple copies for all the team mechanics. So that way we knew that the linkage was greased. We knew that the swing arm was torqued at a certain torque spec. Same with the swing arm pivot. Same with everything. Everything had a torque spec, and you checked it off. If that cable was lubed, it was checked off. If all that stuff. Oil was changed. We went through a motor, new top end or whatever. And I had the same thing for when I was doing all the suspension for the team too. So I had all my checklists because I had 2 race sets per rider plus all their practice stuff. So I had to have everything. I had to have all the notes for it all.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? So that's not any different. I mean, it's not any different for the guys that, that are here local. I mean, as long as they're keeping track of where their adjustments are, they should be fine.
So take notes. Remember where you started at. If you go to places like that are a lot more jumpy, such as Arena Cross or such as, for us around here, PIR, you're going to probably want to tighten her down a little bit, but don't forget where you started. Keep track of everything. And so would you suggest maybe just going a couple clicks and going out and feeling it in practice and then kind of taking it from there?
I like to go a little more extreme because then if it's too much, you can back it a little off. Then you get a lot closer, a lot quicker.
Okay, so few more. Don't just go in baby steps. Go maybe a bit far and then just dial it back.
Yeah, okay. I go a little bit more aggressive on the adjustment if we're setting it up, and then if it's that's way too much. Okay, good, because now we can back it, tone that back a little bit.
Okay.
So it's easy enough. It tunes it in a lot faster if we're sitting there. It's not on a race day. I'd rather not do it on a race day because race day you get something back. You get something back before you're gonna go race it. You're kind of going into it blind. You know what I mean? I don't like it, to me personally. But I mean, you got to race, you're going to race. I mean, it happens every once in a while. But the guys I've been doing a lot of stuff for, we already know where setups always are and what they like. So it's a lot easier just knowing that when it's new, it's going to be stiff. You got a break-in period. You got to let it break in. So it's just not going to go and, it's going to be bitching right away, because it's not right away. I mean, sometimes it is, but most of the time, it just takes that break-in period, and then it should just be a little fine-tune or nothing. Okay. Or sometimes, everybody's going to put a setting in there that somebody may not like. Then, hey, give it about 7 hours. If it's not feeling, dude, let me know. Let's change it. I've always been that way.
Okay.
Not all suspension dudes are going to make everything perfect every single time. It's just not.
It's impossible. I mean,
so, but that being said, you can change it on what they're saying. Okay, so you're wanting a little more of this or a little bit more of that. That's fine. Oh, easy enough. We can change that. That's more of the direction you want. Okay, perfect. It's that simple.
Yeah. Well, isn't a lot of suspension just fine tuning, just constantly fine tuning it just right for the rider?
What's really cool is this new stuff on the Hondas and Cowies now, the forks. Those forks are very sensitive to adjustment, which is great because that's kind of like how an A kit is. So, and a lot of the WP stuff is very sensitive to adjustment too. So it's the needle tapering adjusts very quickly.
I sadly own a Honda right now, but good to know. I know I haven't fully accepted it.
Oh, come on. So it's a lot better than what you did or what you're riding.
Oh, I like that Cowie, man. I liked the Cowie. It had a little Chad Reed magic on it. Yeah,
it did.
Hey,
Justin, just don't tell my wife about that. Chad Reed stuff.
Why is that?
His magic.
She's all about those Aussies, man. I don't know about that stuff.
We were talking about them earlier. What is it about them? Like, okay, first off, we were trying to figure out why Chad Reed is so fast in the mud, because does it rain in Australia? I don't think of mud in Australia. Here's what I think of Australia. I think of 900 plus animals that could kill you. I think of desert, really funky looking trees, and generations of criminals. Because, Australia was originally where they dumped off criminals. And they just kind of took to the place and they, had kids. And next thing you know, it's Australia now. But I think there's some crazy freaking people there. That's because it's like 4 or 5 generations of criminals. What is it?
Kind of sounds like to me some brothers and sisters back in the heyday probably got together to me. It made all these crazies, right?
It could be, but think about it. Some of the most savage freestyle guys we have are from Australia.
They're fat-ass dudes out of Australia, man.
And they can out-party almost any other nation under Earth. Like, they just go wild over there. I mean, I got a level of respect for them just for surviving. And it's like everything over there could kill you. Like, we were talking to the platypus. The little cute platypus with a duck bill? It's poisonous?
I would not have known that.
Everything's poisonous over there. They have the largest saltwater crocodiles. They have all these giant spiders. They have these huge cockroaches. Like all these I believe more venomous snakes than any other country. Like they have
other country. Yep, that's true.
And they're right next to New Zealand, which has next to nothing that will kill you. New Zealand's peaceful, not anything big or weird. And New Zealand's all chill. Australia, it's meant to kill you. And so I think just to survive Australia, you got to be a savage. So is that it just made Chad Reed just tougher than everyone? So when it gets to mud, even I don't get it because I can't think of any mud races in Australia. I mean, you think of desert and kangaroos, not mud.
No, but I'm sure if it does rain there, I bet you it's just a mess.
That would probably fit Australia.
The dirt that they have, it's crazy.
Have you been there? I've obviously
never
been there.
I was gonna go for a race and I decided not to because of the bugs, dude. They freaked me out.
See, I am not down. Like there's so much cool stuff there I want to see, but I'm not down for how many things that could kill me. And the fact that there's bugs there the size of our cats. Like I'm just not chill with that, man.
No, that's one reason why I didn't go is because all the bugs. I heard too many horror stories.
Yeah, no, I'm not down for
I turned down an Australia trip to a race. And I went to Argentina instead, which that was probably not any better, I suppose. But went to Argentina, and that was pretty crazy. But the fun times for me to travel wise was over to Europe.
Yeah, well, they're a lot more domesticated over there. They're more chill, and less things that can kill you.
Now, but those weird bugs, alligators, I am afraid of the damn ocean. I mean, I don't go past my knees, dude.
Me too.
Joe's like, yep.
I don't go in fresh water if I can.
I'll jump a big old jump, but man, there's something about that damn ocean that freaks me out because those sharks can go into very little water, dude, and you don't even know it. Telling you, they'll come and bite your toes off.
Yeah. So does that mean when we go to Mexico that you're not going to go scuba diving with me?
No.
Oh, come on, dude. Spearfishing is where it's at. It's my new love. It's on my top 5 favorite things to do now.
Dude.
Have fun.
You better get me super drunk, man, because you will not see me in there. I no way. Dude, that's the worst place to go. That's where a lot of shark bites are at. The freaking water's warm.
Yeah, but they got so many delicious fish. Dude, have you ever had fresh caught tuna? Like you catch the tuna, you slap it down, you fillet it, and you eat it within a couple hours. Oh my gosh, it is amazing.
You would think back in the day when I was really eating good and training, I never ate fish. I could not stand it. I still don't eat fish.
I hate fish.
I still can't stand it.
Okay, well, they have donkeys down there. We'll make you a burro taco or something. We'll figure it out.
They got donkeys.
Hey, they do have some pretty dank, and I do mean dank, tacos, burritos, and donuts. Like, they have that dialed. Their donuts are way better than our donuts, man. Like, next level.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta watch it, brother, because I don't think I told you, man. I gotta let's see. Next Friday, I'm taking the day off, so on the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten fat over the years, and I've got to lose 80 pounds, dude. And I talk about losing the weight, talk about this, but just work gets interfered or something, just too much going on. But now I seriously got to focus on because I got to have my liver tested, so it's like kind of freaks me out.
Well,
so they're going to do a core sample. I call it the core sample, but they're just going to take a piece of it. And so I'm having that done on the 15th of next Friday.
They take a piece out of your liver. Where do they go to get to your liver? Is that one where they put up your butt, or do they cut you open?
That's an out only, brother.
Well, sometimes, like, dude, they do some weird things. Like, they try to work on your heart through your nose. Like, I don't know. They do some weird stuff, man.
It's just it's on your side. I mean, all they're gonna do is give me a local, and then it's just like quick.
Whoa, hold on. Only a local anesthetic?
Yeah.
They're going to be taking a chunk out of your liver with only a local anesthetic.
It's not like what you think. I mean, it is what you think, but it's not what you think. So basically, they're going to give you a local, numb the shit out of it. And then what they're going to do is it's just like a real quick thing. We already went through on how it's going to be done. And
I think they're bullshitting you, bro. They're bullshitting you.
No. No, it's just like a shot, but it's obviously the needle's a lot bigger, but it's a hollow deal to where it grabs part of your liver.
Okay. I've seen YouTube videos of this. It doesn't end well, bro. You need to ask for a little more than just a local anesthetic.
Oh, well, I have to stay there for like 3 to 4 hours, make sure I don't have internal bleeding afterwards.
Dude, I'd bring a bottle of whiskey for this. I'm just saying.
Dude, it's like on that...
Well, dude, if I have whiskey, it thins your blood out. So don't you think that would make it worse?
Oh.
It's like that Wicked Tuna show when they bring the fish in, they stick that rod in it, and they pull it out, and they push out a cylinder.
Here's the deal, dude. The bottom line is that I let myself go because I quit racing, and I didn't have to train anymore, and I ate a lot of cupcakes and ho-hos and a lot of beer. I didn't do anything. Ate a lot of cheeseburgers, and now I got super duper fat. And
like Ricky Carmichael.
It's scary because I got fatty liver, but they want to test it for stuff beyond. Like, I have a chance if it's not as bad as what they don't think it's real bad, but in case it is, like pre-diabetic now I am, like all this shit can turn really serious real quick if I don't do something. So now I'm like seriously I'm trying to not eat bad anymore. I haven't hardly drank any alcohol, which alcohol will be fine. It's just the consumption of how much you do or how often you drink, which I don't drink often anyway. Like, I didn't drink at all during the Washougal banquet. I just drank water the whole night.
Well, I know something might help you.
What?
Well, other than eating copious amounts of dandelion. That's good for your liver too.
Well, no, you know what? You told me that you had some stuff you were making.
Oh, I got some stuff, and we can talk about that. I definitely have some stuff, and I got there's some stuff that's actually really good for your liver enzymes. Really.
Well, that's great.
Bringing that
I gotta
around.
do whatever.
It's not like a flash kind of overnight thing, but there's definitely some stuff out there, and definitely some like natural stuff out there. It'll definitely help your liver.
Whatever it takes. It's just being healthy regardless. But
the main thing though, dude, is like, so we did Top Gun last year. We had a Moto Monday team. Had fun. Had a few mishaps.
You're parked by me.
Yeah, and we had one guy go wide open through a fence and into the trees, knocked himself out.
That was on the road jump. I remember that.
Poor Mr. Davis. I don't know if he still remembers that, but we need to redeem ourselves. We had actually a good run going. I think at one moment we were in third, but we had a few gnarly crashes and some DNFs. So we're going to redeem ourselves in 2019. So I'm going to put in my team entry list super early with Ted Duvall.
Yeah,
and I may or may not have got you marked down for the 40 plus A class, and I think that would be a good start. If you would race on Team Moto Monday. If you don't have a bike, I will literally. I'll have a 450.
We have the killer 125 that Andy and Reese did for me up.
Dude, if you ride that, I'm going to be all over that. I really
do want to do the dream race. I really do want to do it.
Yeah,
I really would like
the dream race is cool, but so is racing for Team Moto Monday. So do both.
I know.
Do both.
Man,
do both.
Hey, you even have a place we can park. I got the building there, so that'd be perfect.
Yeah, I literally pitted right next to you. I pitted right next to you.
Cornhole goes off, dude, every summer.
So I know it's only February.
Yeah.
But if I put in my team entry list super early, can we get you to race the 40 plus class for us for Team Moto Monday?
Plus? Yeah, that'd be fun, dude.
40 plus A. You just have to race Ryan Huffman for the 100th time.
Whatever. Whatever. Hey, it doesn't matter at this point. I mean, I gotta drop the weight. So once I drop the weight, I start feeling better. Then I do want to get back on the bike. I like to start riding around the 125 a little bit. I threw all my gear away because it was too damn small. It's pretty bad when you gotta zip tie your thing together, and so that way the pants don't fall down. So screw that shit. I can't wear my knee braces because their legs are too damn big, so I don't wear knee braces at all. That's pretty sketchy. And then on top of that, I can't buckle the upper part of my boot because my freaking thighs, my calves are too damn big.
It sounds like we just need to get you on that 125 and start training so we can clinch that championship at Top Gun, dude.
Well, the thing is, the weight's going to be great. Then everything will start fitting and everything else. I'll get new gear. I threw all the gear away. All my pants are gone. Like, I'm not getting any pants till I drop the weight. I'm not doing anything.
All right.
Yep. So as soon as like probably May or whatever rolls around, May or June, then I'll see where I'm at, and then I'll start getting some gear and some new gear, and then we'll be on our way.
All right. Well, I'm just letting you know ahead of time now that I want you to go out there and race the 40 plus class, and I'm really expecting you to beat Ryan Huffman. I hope he's watching right now.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to see I want to see someone take someone out. I want to see someone take someone out. Come on, that's all I just want to see that.
Last time I thought I was going to qualify for Loretta's in the class with Ryan. My depth perception sight was a little bit off when I was wanting to stay up with him, and it didn't work out too well, and I didn't even make a lap that year.
Well, it can only go up from here.
that didn't go over too well, man.
All right, man. Well, hey, we're actually running past time, so I'm going to have to let you go. Before I do, though, you want to throw out any plugs, like how we can find you or JMR Suspension, like social media, website, any of that good stuff?
Yeah, it's JMR on Instagram, Facebook, JMR Suspension on Facebook.
Okay.
We have the website, jmrsuspension.com. Which we're actually still finishing. It's not, I mean, it's up, but it's not, it's kind of, we're finishing it. Let's put it that way. I mean, there's not everything on it. I still got sponsored riders, pictures, and videos that aren't on there that will be.
Okay.
So it's just kind of just there, just not done, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And there's a few things like my rider setup sheets are on it, so you can print them out and send them in and whatnot. So, and then, you can always call, phone to put in orders or just schedule something in or inquiries, which is 360-608-5451. Half part of the time though, I actually, if I'm super busy, I'll make calls back usually later in the day. So like I'm been pretty adamant just leaving me a message because I will get back.
Okay.
I haven't been on the social media thing there for a bit, so my son and my wife's been helping with that because I just don't have time to look at it.
Okay.
So they've been trying to kind of give me a list of stuff every so often.
Okay.
And so that way I can make my callbacks or response backs. And, you know, I know it hasn't been the best, but we're trying to make it better.
Okay. Well,
So, but other than that, I mean, you know, I'm always at Washougal, but we are working on right now trying to come up with some more transportation options to get to other races because
Right.
I haven't been. I mean, it's been a struggle trying to get to places, and so we've been working on a couple things to try to get to the. I would like to come out to Mountain View. I would like to try to finish off the Woodland race a couple times. I would like to head up north a little bit here and there. So, I mean, I got to get away from Washougal more this year and get to other places to kind of be helpful for, you know, other riders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're working on stuff. It's just slow but surely. I mean, it's tough.
Oh, that's all what it's like owning a business, man. That's what it
I know.
is. It's never ending.
Yeah, I already told Carrie we're gonna. I'm doing a bag of clothes. I'm gonna pretty much stay in my shop all week. So,
Man, put in the grind. Put in the grind. I like it. That's what I do.
I got a little behind last week because I had to help Eli get Forerunner, and we had to go to Elma and pick it up. So I lost about almost 2 days of working. So So what I couldn't get done last week, I had to put in this week plus what's already been scheduled for the week. So I'm like double time now.
I hear you, man. Well,
So now everything I get that I'm getting inquiries on, and I'm scheduling the week after right now. But I am only going to have a 4-day week that week because I'm going to have that doctor's appointment, which I will be kind of down and out for 2 or 3 days.
where they stick a needle in your liver. Yes, that sounds like a good time.
So it's like I call it a core sample,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
just like Gold Rush, man. Core sample.
Just like Gold Rush. And on that note, Jason McCormick of JMR Suspension going to get a core sample here soon. Dude, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. It's always a pleasure, and hopefully you're able to offer some tips to some guys going out and trying to figure out their bike setup, which is like a never-ending battle. So go follow JMR Suspension. Jason, appreciate the time, bro. I'm sure we'll talk again here soon, right?
You betcha. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Joe.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
Hey, you forgot something on your banner there too, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
I saw
Oh, did we not get a JMR in the UFMX banner?
It sounds like we did.
I can fix that. I can fix. Let me Photoshop. Give me like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I can Photoshop. Okay, just give me 5 minutes.
God damn it.
Oh, that's too funny. That's all good, brother.
You're on my shout outs.
We're all busy, man. But I do appreciate everything you do,
Yeah.
Justin and Joe.
Yes, sir.
Especially with their U of MX. And I didn't know you got engaged till today, so congratulations, Joe.
Thank you.
Sorry if I wasn't supposed to tell people, but
Well, they know
Totally
now.
fine.
yeah, now they know it's on there.
Yep.
Hey, Jason, you have a good night, sir. We're gonna wrap this up. I'll talk to you soon, sir.
All right, buddy. Yeah, guys, have a good night.
You
Hey,
too.
you as well. Take care.
All right, bye.
Bye. Yeah, was I supposed to be able to tell people that?
Yeah.
I think so. I think we brought it up. By the way, congratulations on getting engaged.
Thank you.
Hopefully I get an invite to the wedding. All right, we're going to wrap this baby up so we can move on to our after show here in just a few minutes. I let it go a little long. It was fun to be able to talk to those guys. Some people who've been around Northwest Motocross a long time, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So maybe a few suspension tips for you guys, a little feedback on how the last Supercross went, and it was a good time. So Moto Monday, number 82. Anything else we got to bring up before we get out of here?
I don't think so.
Lime is bad for the skin
Yeah, it is.
and bikes,
Yep.
and anodizing, and aluminum. And I'm pretty sure if you go to PubMed, there's been studies linking it to problems with the brain. I'm trying to remember. I've spent way too much time on PubMed, but I think there was like a few disorders they have linked to that. It's been years. Long story short, lime is bad for you. Yes. All right, we're going to get out of here. Intern Joe, it's been fun. We're going to start the after show here in just a few minutes over on Facebook. For all of you just watching on YouTube or listening to this afterwards, go out, ride your dirt bike, have fun. If possible, ride your dirt bike just a little more than you play video games. I guarantee you'll be happier, healthier, and probably more broke, but who cares? Dirt bikes are fun. We're out. You guys have a good one.